This video, I'm going to share with you my experience of being angry and frustrated about my life, about my condition, about my situation for the last 30 years. It's been a long time and it's been very arduous, very painful, and very exasperating to the point where I just stopped giving value to anything or doing anything or achieving anything. It became just a pain and a chore to just get through the day. And this all started, obviously almost 30 years ago when I came to live in this country. I'm 37 now. I came to live here when I was 10. My parents didn't integrate with the culture. They didn't ever say a positive word about it or appreciate any aspect of it. And I found that very frustrating because they would always be at home. They never went to work. They never went to socialize. They didn't learn the language. So in a way, didn't feel like I didn't feel like I could trust them to look after me, to care about my well-being, to support me through difficulties and troubles of growing up. And also, when I went to school, I didn't find myself particularly well versed and liked by the other students in the class. Because obviously I was Italian, I had an accent, I was one of the few foreign people there. I was pretty much the only twin there with my brother. So I felt like we were always targeted because we were different to most of the people that were in the classroom. So I had to basically grow up with a sense of isolation, with a sense of that nobody really cared, nobody really loved me, and it became very demoralizing, demotivating, and ultimately just made each day just really stressful and like a drag, and it would cause me anxiety, and sometimes I would bully my brother just to kind of feel a sense of power over somebody else because I would always feel like other people either didn't care or would try to undermine me, particularly when I went to school with the bullying and the insults for being Italian, for being a different nationality. And, it became really, really painful to the point where when I left school at 16, I was relieved that school was finished because every day was just a chore attending. And but ultimately, when I left school, I didn't know what to do with my life because I had no social foundation, no connection with anybody, no real calling of what I wanted to do as a job, and it became very, very, emotionally draining and frustrating. So I just, for the best part of my teens and 20s, I just escaped to in an online world of, online connections and pornography and gambling, just because I found more enjoyment online, and the real world just seemed bleak, dull, and devoid of opportunities for me. But obviously, I realized that that wasn't a, a wise thing to do because online connection, people can just turn off the internet and you're never going to see them again. They're always, they might move on with their life, and that's what happened. No connections lasted because no one really truly cared about you because you were not there with it experiencing daily life as they were. So it was just a bad idea. I know a lot of people, some people have success for their relationships online, friendships. I never did, or if I did, that eventually they would just run out of steam because we were living different lives. And for me, basically I didn't get my first job until my mid 20s because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. I didn't have a calling. I experienced a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, and I locked myself away from the world. I escaped. I basically didn't get out of my room for months and months and months because I didn't like to go outside and find that other people would get on with their lives, and I didn't have anything going with mine. So it was more comforting just to not to smell the coffee, as they say, and just not see the reality as it was. That I was just a lost person without a social circle, without social influence, and nobody that really cared or valued me. And ultimately, it's been detrimental to my life, to my to my opportunities to earn money, to make connections with people, whether it was intimate connection or just professional ones that could give you career, opportunities to develop yourself. And it's definitely something that has been detrimental to me and has made my life poorer than what it could have been. I'm not saying I will succeed, but if you don't put yourself in a position where you can you're seen by other people, you're most likely not going to get anything, especially in a competitive society. It obviously does help to be extroverted, to be outgoing. I was never already my personality that was too introverted, too closed down in my own thoughts of insecurity. It's not been good. And now, obviously, I've developed health issues. I've developed, I'm isolated. I don't have any connections. I have to live around the disabled. I have to live in a predominantly disabled household. My twin brother has developed multiple sclerosis when he was in his teens. My father experienced persistent psychotic depression, which is still ongoing to this day. And now, finally, after about 20 years, it's he's getting some medicines, which pretty much my mother has to administer to him, otherwise he wouldn't care about taking them. And it's just an empty, soulless existence. But I realized that life can be pretty harsh for people. You're not always going to get what you want. You're not always going to achieve what you want, and most certainly, you people are not going to carry you. So if you are unable to, you know, cut through the crowd and be in a position where you can achieve what you want, nobody's going to come and help you. Me, I have to pay the ultimate price. I have to find myself with, spending a life without friends, without intimate relationships, without a career. I'm pretty much going from job to job, and it's just been in a way pointless because now you find yourself getting older. And it's like almost a point of, almost like you feel like was there really any point of spending all these years on hoping that things were going to get better? And the answer is no. No, but obviously, when you don't have any support as a young person, it's very difficult to get out of a hole that I've been in, where you feel like there's nothing positive in your life around you, especially. But let me know your experience of, particularly around feeling like isolated or lonely or like devoid of opportunity or confidence, how it impacts your daily life, how it's been detrimental to you, whether that's socially, financially, and yeah, in terms of health as well. Because I developed like hypertension, which I had to start treatment for because it was really that bad, and ultimately I've had to live life that's felt really unrewarding. But I'm looking forward to the comments. Thank you.